Las Vegas was electric for UFC 323, the final pay-per-view of 2025. The city pulsed with excitement, as fans from every corner of the globe descended on the fight capital of the world, eager to witness history in the making. It was a historic night for the sport, with an atmosphere that was nothing short of electric. The energy in the air was palpable, and you could feel the anticipation building with every passing moment. The T-Mobile Arena buzzed with anticipation, as fans from around the world gathered for a stacked card featuring 2 title fights and legends of the sport. Every seat was filled, and the roar of the crowd echoed through the arena, setting the stage for an unforgettable night. This event marked the end of the current broadcast era, before the UFC's big move to Paramount Plus in 2026, a true turning point. The sense of change was in the air, as fans and fighters alike reflected on the journey so far and looked ahead to a new chapter. Every fighter knew the stakes were sky high, and they delivered with unforgettable performances. The pressure was immense, but the athletes rose to the occasion, determined to leave their mark on this historic card. The night was filled with shocking knockouts, technical submissions, and back-and-forth wars that had everyone on their feet. Each bout brought its own drama, with fighters pushing themselves to the absolute limit. UFC 323 was a celebration of everything that makes this sport great: unpredictability, emotion, and pure competition. The octagon became a stage for dreams, heartbreak, and triumph, all in one unforgettable night. The stakes were immense, with championships on the line and divisional landscapes ready to be reshaped. Every fight had the potential to change careers and rewrite history. The athletes left everything in the cage, making this a fitting end to an amazing year of fights. Their passion and dedication were on full display, earning the respect of fans and fellow fighters alike. UFC 323 will be remembered as one of the best cards of the year, a love letter to the fans. It was a night that captured the very essence of mixed martial arts, uniting everyone in celebration of the sport. Let's dive into the action, starting with some of the most explosive prelims in recent memory. The journey through UFC 323 begins now, and you won't want to miss a second of it. The prelims set the tone, building anticipation as fans poured into the arena, buzzing with excitement for what was to come. But one fight stole the show, an electrifying clash between Baraniewski and Aslan that had everyone on the edge of their seats. In just 89 seconds, these light heavyweights unleashed pure chaos, both men swinging for the fences from the opening bell, refusing to take a step back. Aslan landed early, nearly finishing Baraniewski, but Iwo showed incredible heart and resilience, firing back with heavy shots of his own and refusing to be denied. The crowd was wild as they traded bombs, neither man backing down, each exchange louder and more intense than the last. Then, Baraniewski landed a perfect right hand. Aslan crashed to the canvas, and the arena erupted in disbelief and awe. It was an instant, devastating knockout that sent shockwaves through the building, leaving fans and fighters alike stunned by the sheer power on display. Baraniewski's finish wasn't just a win, it was a statement, announcing his arrival in the division and putting every contender on notice. That performance earned him a well-deserved bonus, and a spot on highlight reels for years to come, cementing his name in UFC history. The message was clear: at UFC 323, don't blink or you'll miss something incredible, because every second counts. The prelims delivered more than just warm-ups. They set the bar sky high for the rest of the night, raising expectations for every fight that followed. Baraniewski's knockout energized everyone, from fans to fighters backstage, inspiring a surge of adrenaline throughout the arena. It was a reminder that stars can be born in an instant, and that one moment can change everything for a fighter's career. The entire arena was buzzing, electric with anticipation, and the main card hadn't even started yet. UFC 323 was off to an unforgettable start, promising even more unforgettable moments as the night continued. The undercard was packed with pivotal moments that shook up the rankings. Chris Duncan pulled off a slick anaconda choke against Terrence McKinney, showing composure and technical skill. Manuel Torres overwhelmed Grant Dawson with relentless striking, earning a first-round TKO and proving he's a real threat at lightweight. In the middleweight division, Brunoferreira upset Marvin Vettori, outstriking the veteran for a unanimous decision and breaking into the rankings. Jalen Turner used his reach to perfection, stopping Edson Barboza with a first-round TKO and re-establishing himself as a top contender. These weren't just prelims, they were statement wins that reshaped divisions. New contenders emerged, veterans were tested, and the stage was set for a thrilling main card. The action was non-stop, and every fight mattered. UFC 323's undercard proved that anything can happen on fight night. The energy in the arena was at a fever pitch as the main card approached. The main card opened with a classic clash, legend Henry Cejudo versus rising star Peyton Talbot. Cejudo's wrestling met Talbot's striking in a tactical battle, with Talbot growing in confidence as the fight wore on. Both had their moments, but Talbot's activity and striking output edged the rounds in a razor-close contest. Next, Jan Blachowicz and Bogdan Guskov delivered a light heavyweight war. Guskov dropped Blachowicz in the second, but the veteran rallied back, nearly finishing Guskov in the third. The judges called it a majority draw, a fitting result for a brutal back-and-forth battle. Blachowicz proved his legendary toughness, while Guskov announced himself as a top contender. The crowd gave both men a massive ovation for their heart and skill. These fights showed the best of both generations, experience and youth colliding at the highest level. The main card was just getting started, and the stakes kept rising. Brandon Moreno vs. Tatsuro Taira was a flyweight masterclass, a potential title eliminator with everything on the line. Moreno's boxing and Taira's grappling created non-stop scrambles and high-level transitions. Both men threatened with submissions and reversals, keeping the crowd on the edge of their seats. As the fight wore on, Moreno's experience and striking volume gave him the edge. Taira nearly secured a rear-naked choke in the third, but Moreno escaped and rallied. In the end, Moreno earned a hard-fought decision, putting himself back in the title conversation. Taira, despite his first loss, proved he belongs among the elite and will be a future contender. It was a beautiful display of modern MMA skill and heart. The flyweight division's future looks brighter than ever. In the co-main event, Alexandre Pantoja defended his flyweight title against the surging Joshua Van. Pantoja's relentless pressure and grappling met Van's sharp striking and poise. The early rounds were competitive, but Pantoja's experience and control took over in the championship rounds. He secured takedowns, landed ground and pound, and constantly threatened submissions. Van showed heart and skill, but Pantoja's dominance was clear. The champion retained his belt by unanimous decision, his fourth successful defense. Pantoja cemented his legacy as one of the greatest flyweights ever. Van proved he's a future contender, gaining valuable experience at just 24. For now, the flyweight throne remains with the cannibal, Alexandre Pantoja. The main event was a long-awaited rematch for the bantamweight title, Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan. Their first fight saw Merab dominate with relentless wrestling, but Yan returned with a 3-fight win streak and renewed focus. Dvalishvili entered as a dominant champion, riding a 14-fight win streak and aiming for a record 4th defense in a year. Yan, known for his technical boxing, had improved his takedown defense and was determined to reclaim his throne. The rivalry was built on contrasting styles, Merab's suffocating pressure versus Yan's striking precision. Both men respected each other, but only one could leave as champion. For Merab, it was about legacy. For Yan, redemption. The T-Mobile Arena was electric as the two best bantamweights prepared to settle the score. The stakes couldn't have been higher for this championship showdown. The stage was set for an epic conclusion to UFC 323. The main event delivered a 5-round war worthy of the hype, a true showcase of elite skill and heart at the highest level of the sport. Yan came out with noticeably improved footwork and takedown defense, stuffing Merab's early attempts and landing sharp, precise counters that set the tone for the fight. The first 3 rounds were a grueling chess match, Merab's relentless wrestling clashing with Yan's striking and defensive prowess. Each man searching for the smallest opening, Yan punished Merab for every takedown attempt, landing hard shots and making each exchange count, forcing Merab to rethink his approach as the rounds wore on. The fight was razor close, with rounds hotly debated between damage and control, and fans on the edge of their seats as the momentum shifted back and forth. In the fourth, Merab finally secured a big takedown, and controlled much of the round, landing ground and pound and showing the heart of a champion as he battled for dominance. The 5th round was a desperate scramble, both men exhausted but refusing to give an inch, digging deep for every last ounce of energy in pursuit of victory. When the final bell sounded, the arena held its breath, the tension almost unbearable as everyone awaited the judges' verdict. The judges delivered a split decision. Petr Yan was crowned the new bantamweight champion, reclaiming the belt in dramatic fashion. Yan fell to his knees, overwhelmed by redemption and victory, the weight of his journey and the magnitude of the moment written across his face. He had solved the puzzle, reclaiming his place atop the division and proving his doubters wrong with a performance for the ages. Merab's reign ended, but his heart and grit were undeniable, earning respect from fans and fighters alike for his relentless effort. It was a masterful, high-stakes battle that will be remembered for years, a true testament to the spirit of championship MMA. UFC 323 had its new king, and the bantamweight division had witnessed one of its greatest title fights ever. UFC 323 closed out 2025 with unforgettable moments and new champions. Petr Yan's comeback and Pantoja's dominance reshaped their divisions and set up thrilling matchups for 2026. Legends like Moreno proved their staying power, while new stars like Baraniewski burst onto the scene. The card delivered everything: triumph, heartbreak, and pure drama. UFC 323 was the perfect send-off for this era, celebrating the sport's past, present, and future. As the UFC moves to Paramount+, the divisions are stacked and rivalries are brewing. The bar is set high for what's next, with fans eager for the new chapter. UFC 323 wasn't just an ending, it was a spectacular new beginning. The future of MMA has never looked brighter. And as always, we can't wait to see what happens next.